We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Peasant chat. That's right. We're talking to poor people today. We're allowing people that do not subscribe to being a member. You can subscribe to the channel and still be able to talk. But if you don't actually pay to have a nice little icon next to your ship, today's your day to shine, because every other day we only let the members chat. We have about 2,000 members or so, and I think it's about 2,000 members. So that's a really nice number. It's as little as $5 a month, so it's not really that big of a deal. And you'll get an icon. You'll be able to stand out on the chats. Your work. This is how I see you. Okay, when you're a member, what I see is you're green. So if you are going to comment, you're in the green. If you're not a member, like Smudgy Skills, Matt Oliver, and Bruce Willis, then you're going to be kind of grayed out, and that makes it a little more difficult to see you. So if you want to join, hang out, you'll be able to comment on all of the other chats, but if not, you're gonna have to wait till Sunday. Fuck that, I'm not gonna give Alex any money to join in on the chat. Well, fuck you, buddy. All right, let's get the sponsors out of the way. What a segue. I'd like to thank PMass, Nick James PMass up in Michigan. Thank you for being a sponsor. He's got those little bell mouth things that I'm going to try on the ESS equipped Mustang, but not until I don't want to blow up 2 cars, so I'm going to just be easy on the cars for now. 2 Auto Solutions, Rami Zaidan, Auto Solutions, testing blowers, fucking with Corvettes, best shop in Puerto Rico, period, when it comes to the late model Mustang and Chevy, Corvette, Camaro game. The Parts Farm, partsfarm.com, with the 671 blower coming out of the corn. Hey, Parts Farm, do you have a front end, GT500 front end, what is it called? Deep Impact Blue? Mine are little scratches. I can just probably have it fixed, but if they have a complete bumper cover, I'd rather just get that. Oh my God Cookies, ohmygodcookies.com, oh my God Cookies _LLC, the people with the cookies, the people that give away cookies. That's right, they give away cookies to you guys. So if you guys wonder why I steer you towards them, they're badass people in Calumet. Ben Calumet Transmission, CalumetTransmissions.com. Gonna be hitting them up pretty soon, hopefully, to play around with some manual stuff, depending on what the deal is. I have the white notch that's gonna need some work on the transmission. Doesn't need it, but I'd like to have that trans gone over just to make sure to give it a clean bill of health. So let's say hi to the people and we'll get after. Today we're going to talk about specifically the EV stuff. A lot of people in my on my Instagram and Twitter, believe it or not, Twitter is fucking popping. So if you want me to even fucking engage you in any way, shape, or form, Twitter's the place. Instagram's not the place. Instagram to me is full of like grudge talk bullshit. It became like ghetto as fuck. So, and I was really never into it. But Twitter's the place. If you want to get a hold of me, that's the best place. And eventually they can start paying motherfuckers. So that's why I'm there. So the EV stuff, a lot of people said, hey, Alex, what do you think? Because it all stems around the whole Freedom Factory bullshit. They're like, what do you think if they made it EV only? Meaning you can't complain about engine noise if it's EV only. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And for many reasons. What about the Pro Mods? What about X275 cars? What about limited street? What about these 8th mile grudge races? What about like that's where the biggest money is not like the Pro Mods. It's like the grudge guys, the 28 tire grudge guys that you don't even know how fast they are. You have no idea. The no time guys don't post shit. They don't tell you how fast they are, and they're if they had to fit in a class based on their times, it would be pretty stupid how fast some of those cars are. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a guy with a billet, like one of the few billet coyotes out there, grudge racing everybody. I think it was Ghost. And he was out there just taking everybody's money in a billet coyote standalone situation. You don't even know how fast he was, but he was going from track to track, grudge racing motherfuckers everywhere, trying to take their money. It's a completely different world. So I think the EV stuff is not going to be the solution for loud racetracks. Eventually, you're going to have to put that in a lighter chassis. Tesla doesn't necessarily open source their stuff. You're still messing with Tesla software. And unless you actually break into their software and manipulate their stuff, I don't think you'll be able to do much with it that you could with a Tesla. I get it. The weight is lighter, but you're basically, it's like taking a small block Ford from a van, putting it in a Cobra, and you're stuck with that power. You can't modify it and make it better unless you make aftermarket parts for that electric vehicle to perform better. And I think it's going to be really difficult for that to take place. But we'll talk about it. And we'll also talk about some of the podcast stuff that I've been seeing out there that I think is interesting. Cooper Baghetti is out there doing a podcast, which is awesome. That's great that he's out there changing it up, because you can only do so many racing videos. And we've realized really quickly with this channel specifically that racing doesn't necessarily puts the asses in the seats. If you have a point of view, if you're entertaining, if you do giveaways, if you're live and you allow the people to engage, that seems to be better for everybody. We got Fresh Pasteles, TJ Sikorsky, Homestead Johns, Monty 540, Underrated and Technical, Wesley Stewart, Garage Build Coyote, Twin Force, Cobby Coyote, Ignacio Ramirez, One Slow 50, Cluster BM, Jared Wells, JD Swag, Tango, Tyler Gray, 508 Josh, Gregory Upvich, Boostley, Melissa, Teruviate finally got up. He's going to try to work on his car. Dude, you're going to die in that fucking thing. I guarantee you're going to fucking die in that thing. I don't want you to die, but if you're stick welding the cage, it's only bad stuff can happen. The Wolf, Ken McAllister, Douche Did It, 94 GT Verse, Smudgy Skills, Matt Oliver, Nick G, Mr. King, Angel Puerto Rico, Mike Jones, who? JPL Performance, Redbird, Holly Takwache Mode, Brian Cassette, Patrick Lynch, Mike Schmidt, Fast Rider, Cruzy, Matthew Nichols, Big Daddy Patty. I sold my car and I want a Stroke 351 SN95. Am I still allowed here? Hey, I got a Stroke 351. You can hang out here with all of us. Done. 523. He says, thank you. I feel like I'm getting a little something from my membership. Appreciate that, brother. Joey G, Dre Day, Whipple 2020. All these Budget Bill boys in the comments. Alex Ortega, the Mod Scientist. Mobile Detailing Channel. Solo 18DT, the Rad H. Evil Twin GT350, Jared Wells, Guy Bellinger. Hey, Alex, I'm poor. Keep up the good work. It's all good, brother. I love you. Mr. King, JD Swag, Kami, Commenter, Dual Throttle Bodies. Take that, Elon Musk. Take that, Elon Musk is right.
Take that, Elon Musk.
YouTube, Corrupt. I haven't seen you in a while. Patrick Lynch, Garage, and all the usual stuff. I do have a pic posted on my YouTube page showing the progress so far. Oh, my Lord. No, thanks. I am not. Look, I love you. I love having you here. I'm done pushing your channel. You were offered a job. You were offered a car. You said no to both. We are done supporting your channel. We'll have fun here and chitty chat and stuff. But in terms of pushing something towards you, I'd rather give it to somebody that, let's just say, deserves it. You know, like this channel isn't like this badass popping channel, but I have access to shops, people, and fans that are generous. And if they're willing to help you out and give you something, I would, try to help out a hard luck case. You were offered a vehicle that is 1,000 times better than you currently have because it's a running, driving V8 Mustang. You said, ew, it's a convertible. Hell no. Oh my God. I have to go to New Orleans to pick it up? Fuck that. I'd rather drive my spaced out, notched radiator hose burst onto the fucking water pump rust bucket than have a car. Then the parts farm said, hey, we'd like to give you a job. You just have to move to Lyons, Georgia. We put you up. You can work on your car nonstop. You got a lift. You got a dyno. You got whatever. And you said, fuck that shit. I don't want anyone breathing down my neck. So we're done. We're done pushing your stuff. We'd love to have you here. But I'd rather do it, do some good for people that are mostly deserving. So the EV stuff is interesting. After the Freedom Factory and Bradenton Motorsports Park lost the petition to further the process, because all it was is just furthering the process. They supposedly try to put a good light on it by saying maybe we'll work with the developers and they'll do like a racer's garage to be like a in between the track and the homes. Guys, that's not gonna. None of that is gonna help. None. I love you. In about 5 years or 3 to 5 years, the beginning of the end will happen when the first families move into the property and they said, oh, this racetrack next door has a bunch of events and it's popping, and they go, okay, no problem, we're okay with the racetrack, and secretly they're like, we're gonna get rid of that fucking racetrack. So they sign the paperwork to be able to say, oh yeah, there is nothing binding will appear anywhere in the house purchase that says you can't complain about the noise. They're just saying you're aware the proximity of the track. It's like living next to an airport. You're aware the airport makes a bunch of noise. Yup, you're not going to all of a sudden call them and be like, shut down the airplanes. It's not going to happen. But with a track, you can if you have a bunch of neighbors that get together and say, that's bullshit, shut it down. We don't give a fuck that they got a racer's garage, a racer's village. We don't give two fucking shits. Get it the fuck out of here. And a lot of people say, oh, I can't wait to move to Bradenton to, maybe have my car here. How expensive do you think that's going to be? Racers are broke, right? Most racers are broke. The only people that are going to be able to afford that stuff is big boy stuff, big boy racers, guys that have a lot of money, guys that need to race just to offset their tax burden. So they'll be able to buy a house in the racer's village, no problem. But the regular schmo, you and me, will not have access to stuff like that. So anyway, they said EVs, Alex, what about EVs? And I'm like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. 90% of the guys that go to the track don't go there to watch racing. They go there to watch burnouts, flames, two steps. I guarantee there's an NA guy that wants to make his car bump in, not understanding why bumping in is a thing. Like, I guarantee you get an NA guy on a track and you go, why is that turbo car bumping in? Like, what is the purpose of that car bumping in? Do you think it's cool? Like, I guarantee an NA guy goes, why don't blower cars bump in? Did you guys ever think of that? Why don't nitrous cars bump in? Why don't supercharger cars bump in? Only turbo cars bump in. So then they're going to be like, oh, well, I guess I want my car to bump in. It's an NA car. But they want their car to bump in because they saw a turbo car bump in because it looks cool. And that's the name of the game. People go to the track to watch cars do cool shit. Big burnout. Have you ever seen people clap for a burnout? I haven't. I've literally never looked at a burnout and go, holy shit, that guy's wild. He did a burnout. No, I go, okay, let's see the race. I look at the reaction time. I go, oh man, that guy was on the bam. He's on the trees on it. Badass shit. That's why to me, stick shift racing is the ultimate. Stick shift racing to me is the ultimate test of a driver because you have to do so much more. Now, the strain gauge stuff is debatable, but they still have to do similar stuff to get the car to stage, turbo cars, and to hit the gears all the way down the track at the right shift point. But EV racing will be boring for you guys. 2 EV cars go up, no bumping in, no nothing, very quiet. You can hear a guy fart in the stands. And you go, okay, here comes a Tesla Plaid versus a Sapphire. Zzz. Oh, Sapphire won. I'm leaving. Like, no one will go. No one will go. You want to see a big dumb burnout with flames spitting out the bitch. You want to smell the alcohol, the methanol, the E85, the pump gas, the C16. Half of the allure of the track is the audio and sense and the smells and the senses are heightened at a track. When a top fuel car launches, it hits you in the heart. It literally hits you in the heart. It rumbles your fucking insides. You smell the nitro. You see the flames. You see the tires, just wadding up. You smoke, and it's just. And then if an engine blows up, it's fantastic. Holy shit! Look at that. So, in my opinion, EV racing it would never be viable because of the nature of it. Now, as a competition thing, I think it'd be cool to see who can go the quickest with an EV motor. But I think in terms of what that specific track and the customer base, they want yee dumb shit, drifting, gay shit. And, it's one thing to have a 6-second drag race or 7-second drag race. It's another thing to have a drift competition. You know what I mean? It's another thing to have pro modifieds go roundy round. So I think the days are numbered because it's just a matter of time. It would be silly for people to put millions of dollars into that track, knowing that a community of homes is going in less than a mile away. So it's going to be interesting. Now, let's talk about the Cooper Bugatti stuff. So Cooper Bugatti is doing some podcast stuff, and I think that's very smart. That's where he's going to grow, in my opinion. I think his channel will take off. If he, and this is the caveat that I don't think he's willing to do, if he has real talk with the people he's having conversations with, it's new, it's early, and he's going to do really well because he's actually really good on camera. I'd rather hear him talk because he's clear, He has a kind of a dark sense of humor, from what I can tell. I don't know the guy personally, and he's a hardcore like people's rights, Second Amendment, the whole 9 yards. He's in the pocket, but he's calm about it. But he's 100% calm about it. He's not like fake, and we all know what fake is, right? Like people just can't get out of their own way. So he was talking to Faster Proms guy, Jeremy. I think that's his name. So, and he explained the name, Faster Proms, and all that stuff. So, what I found funny was the hesitation that Jeremy made many times in the video, almost alluding to trying to talk shit on somebody or truth. See, when I say talking shit, it doesn't mean they're being false. It means, we're talking some shit. Let's talk some real talk. And it's almost like he stopped himself a couple of times from saying real shit. And I thought, why don't you press him on that? Like, hey, what do you mean? What people? He went on about how YouTube sucks. And I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean YouTube sucks? YouTube is a revenue stream that is supplemental to what you got going on. So if you have a tuning business, just record what you're doing and put it up on YouTube. And if people like it or not, cool. But what he was alluding to, that YouTube sucked and this and that, and I went, wait a minute. I understand that the audience doesn't like all the videos that I put out there. Well, whose fault is that? That's my fault. I am not curtailing my content to the visible audience. People want to see dumb shit. I guarantee there's a whole subset. I guarantee there's 60% of you that wish YOLO would make a comeback, and it's never going to happen because of clown shit and how I would be treated out there. This is going to be it. YOLO makes a comeback like drips and drabs, but I will not make a YOLO douchebag channel. I'm not going to flip my fucking hat. I'm not going to do that. And that's not, but I know that's what you guys want. So Jeremy was out there saying some stuff, and I was like, I wonder if he's talking about a specific person, because it almost sounds like his YouTube channel was propped up and then it flatlined and then it went down. And, unfortunately, there's a cash cow up there. There's a massive cash cow up there that a lot of the people feed off of, and it's Cletus's channel, right? If Cletus gives you a platform, his 3 million psycho weirdo fucking fans would watch your shit just because Cletus said so. Like a bunch of yee guys that have no money will watch your stuff because homeboy said so. So those people stand to make some money based off of YouTube ad revenue. So it almost seemed like, and maybe I'm 100% wrong, but I thought Cooper had a good opportunity to press the interview right then and there and say, okay, tell me, what do you mean? Can you be specific? And if Jeremy wasn't willing to be specific, that's okay. But I need specifics. I'm like, tell me exactly what you mean. Did you getting into YouTube, was it forced on you? And once it was forced on you, did you not and then did someone sprinkle some shine on your channel and then pull it back? I don't know. So I'm like, I was left with way more questions than answers. And generally the interview was, I don't know him. So I'm like, whatever. And so there are people out there that I feel are begrudgingly helping certain people just to be able to get something from them. And you could tell that could be a problem. Like, guys, I am nobody. And that's what I mean, Torque and Beans. Again, I'm not trying to get on this whole thing, but Cooper was on the channel, then left. Now he's back. Jeremy was on the channel. They hired the fucking other dude that supposedly took him from the shop. They said there was no hard feelings, but then all of a sudden Jeremy was gone. So then you're like, okay, I need specifics, because it seems like there's a bunch of drama percolating and no one is saying anything for fear of losing ad revenue. So I could be 100% wrong. I'm 100% speculating, but it seemed like he had an opportunity to really get the shit out there. But the problem is this: what if the shit that you put out there hurts you? I have done many things on this channel that I knew were going to hurt me financially in order for me to get out what I wanted to get out. And the Lunds, luckily, have been like, hey, say what you got to say, because I went in on people that went in on me. I went in on shit ass companies. I got fucked over on this. I got fucked over on that. And I have not held back many things. And I've been pretty real with you guys. I'd like to be able to look myself in the mirror and go, I'm not a fucking fake. I'm giving you guys exactly what's happening. Now, I'm not blaming them from doing that, but it seems like there's a massive cash cow up there in Bradenton. A lot of people are sucking off the tit of that cash cow and don't want to upset the cash cow. I want real shit. Like, if it's negative, cool. If it's positive, cool. But don't allude to something and then back off. I'm like, come on, give me the real stuff, because then I'll watch. I'll watch real talk. The reason Joe Rogan is as popular as he is because he's real as shit. Like, real as shit. So if I had somebody, Dylan said, Tony Spadafino says, Coop and Cleet are family. Coop wouldn't try to hurt Cleet. Then why interview somebody that was potentially in a situation with him? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but I like Cooper's stuff, not his racing stuff, because it doesn't speak to me. But as a person, he seems to be normal. I would consider him like a normal guy. So when I saw his podcast, I was like, okay, let me watch it. And then I went, boy, this Jeremy really wants to say something, but he's not saying it. And maybe I understand why. But I really wish that, because when it comes to podcasts, guys, that's where the real stuff comes out. Don't go on a podcast and start pushing your product. Don't go on a podcast and start being, gimmicky. In my opinion, podcasting is where the real talk comes out. And I wish there was just more of that. That's all. I think there needs to be more podcasts that are race-centric, that are normal people, that just talk regular, but it's becoming really difficult. I felt like Cooper also knows that if he brings light to some of the Cletus drama, the Cletus Army will trash him. I'm okay with that. Not because I dislike Cletus. I don't care. I dislike his fans. His fans are all retarded, and I want all the smoke. Fuck them. But he's fine. He puts out a product that those people like. That's not a problem. But if you're going to allude to something, in my opinion, go all the way. Stick your dick in, balls deep. Who cares? Jeremy lost views because he was not compelling. Cleet primed the pump for Jeremy. Yes, but then I can see that. I can see why Jeremy wasn't compelling, because he's not exactly entertaining. And again, that's not to say that he's not a good tuner. That's not to say that he's not. I'm just saying that when it comes to YouTube, you have to be entertaining and you have to be compelling and you have to have an angle. And if you don't, then it's going to die. But it almost sounds like he was like, I wasn't ever really given a shot. I wasn't pushed enough. And I'm like, dude, let's get the real stuff. But it just wasn't happening. Or maybe he just doesn't want to upset the cash cow. Matt Olive says, you're definitely real. You have a lot of certified content on your channel. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. You've been honest, but you have been biting your tongue, but I respect it. It won't cause you drama dragging names across the mud. So the thing is, the stuff that I've been holding back on has nothing to do with me being in trouble. If I go out there and start telling you guys truth, there has to be a reason. You know what I mean? Like, I know so many things about so many people in this industry based on dealing with them on a personal basis. Not rumor, not this. I have dealt with you. I know you're a piece of shit. Fuck you and eat my ass. But these people get off scot-free because they can maybe provide a service. There is no reason for me to go in on them because they haven't done anything to me to potentially cause me to go in. Guys, let's do some critical thinking. You guys know people in this industry. Right? A lot of you guys know people in the Mustang tuning, Mustang performance community specifically. Why haven't they gone in on me? One, there's no dirt. I've been real honest with everybody. Two, they know that I know that they're pieces of shit and I got shit on them. But I don't, to say it unprovoked would be super weird. It'd be super weird. Alice, get him on your show if you can. I would get Cooper on the show, but I don't think he'd be willing to come on. And I'm going to be honest. I like him as a person. He seems to be legit. But unless he's willing to come on and answer the questions honestly, there's no reason to have anybody on. You saw what happened with Ben Stoner. You saw what happened with fucking Brian Luna. Brian Luna don't give a shit. And that's the nice thing about owning your own stuff. Brian Luna owns his own business, so he can talk all that shit. And I talked to him about his engine builder stuff, this and this and that. He still has a TKM motor kicking ass down there in Texas. So he talked all that shit. And then we talked to Joel Steele, talking about how much money it costs, how much this, how much that. He was very specific. And I went, God damn it, I love these real people. Now, the reason I haven't had a lot of interviews on it is because I don't want to just have just random people that I don't know and have a relationship with and I know won't be real. There are people that I still want to interview. Time, I don't have any time, but I'm going to try to get you guys as much content as humanly possible. Nothing wrong with being real. Real people are who you want to hang out with, exactly. Yeah, I mean, all these, the people that have anything to say about me, they'll say, I don't know, like a lot of people don't like that I went from VMP to Lund. And a lot of, I established a good customer base at VMP. Guys, I was forced to go to VMP initially, right? Not forced, meaning I had nothing else. I had no other prospects. So I went in there basically begging, not begging. They recruited me. BJ McCarty recruited me, got in there, got paid peanuts, and I can't live on peanuts. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to fucking get the money. And I had a previous relationship with Lund, and I went with him. So a lot of people are like, well, how dare you? How dare I what? How dare I further my fucking life? How dare I upgrade my money? How dare I? Stop it. So you want me to be real and suffer and be, slowly starved to death? Fuck that. I would see Cletus here and there, caught myself saying, yeah, brother. I was like, hell no, unsubbed. Hush Money story, I already said it. I already said the Hush Money story. Bald Eagles. That's the other thing. Stop it. Stop it. Be real. Especially when it comes to saving your track. Be real. Don't say head gasket. Don't say bald eagles. Don't say diddle-a-dirta, derp-a-derp. Do it for Dale. Oh my God. Stop that shit. God damn it. I wonder about the Hush Money stuff. I already said that story. If you bring trouble, you get trouble. It's that simple. Exactly. Yeah, Joel Steele was the best. He was out of the interviews that we had, I think Joel Steele was number one, then Brian Luna, and then nothing against them, like rating them. I'm just saying in terms of like, wow, the information that we got was pretty hardcore. The Ben Stoner stuff was great, and I'd love to talk to him about the Code Red stuff. Maybe, hey, Ben Stoner, if you ever want to be on the show again and give us an update on the Code Red stuff, that the GT500 stuff, I got a lot of questions about that. But some of the questions you might not want to answer, but I'm going to ask them anyway. Best Coyote content on the net also missed last week. They don't want to poke the bear. No, it's not that I'm threatening anyone. I'm just saying I got dirt on everybody on this shit. And I'm like, and I have no bones to pick with anybody. The people that I dislike get called out. Like the people that I don't like, that I have an extra grind with, they get called out by name here. And then I move on with my life. Joel Steele was awesome on here. Ever thought about getting Joel Grandis on or Grubworm? If you know them, I don't know them. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't want boring interviews. You know what I mean? I don't want boring interviews. So I need to know a lot about you to get you on. And I knew a lot about Ben Stoner. I knew a lot about Brian Luna. I knew a lot about Joel Steele. And the other two people that I'm not scheduled, but look, Christmas is coming and it's kind of making things difficult to schedule stuff. But I want to get people on that I think will be compelling and of substance. Clint Eastwood said, I apologize that I missed it. Have you interviewed Aldo Welds? No. I don't know if that'll get much from him in an interview. I think he said everything he needs to say on the Brian Luna podcast, which you can watch. It's called Entrepreneur. Wait. Somethingpreneur, Autopreneur on Mexico Racing League. So he told his whole story on there. The city council only knows Cletus, not Garrett. That's the problem, in my opinion. Motherfucker mad because you chose to make a living to live on a great relationship with my job. Yeah, like people were mad at me. You betrayed us. How did I betray you? How did I betray you? By upgrading my life? What if I leave tuning altogether and decide to, make parts? Did I betray you because now I don't tune your shit? Stop it. The interviews are all entertaining. I love them. People hate it when you think for yourself it's hilarious. They say to save BMP, we need to do it for Vic. To save yeah. I never understand people who put people down for wanting to better their life. Yeah, Steele needs to come on about once a week. He could have his own show, but the two of you together is right. He was good. He could run the show, and he could talk the shit. Like, he could literally talk the shit. Fair enough. Was just curious if you knew them. Like, the Joel Granis and Joel Steele stuff, there's drama back there, and I think it stemmed from the fact that I think Joel Steele came out of nowhere, right? Okay, if you've been in the stick shift world for a long time, Joel Steele came out of nowhere and had probably the most consistent 6-second car until recently, the Grub Worm. Actually, I still think Joel Steele had the most consistent 680, 690 stick shift car, period. And he came out of nowhere. So I'm sure him and Joel Granis were in competition with each other because it's the outlaw stuff. And the nice thing about Joel Steele is he's got some juice. Like the guy can actually have connections, and he has made a deal with Ducks Promotions to make a stick shift class in his upcoming February race that I will be at. I will be at that race to cover the stick shift stuff. Maybe not talk to all the guys because maybe the guys don't want to talk to me, and I understand why someone wouldn't want to talk to me. I get that, but I'm gonna cover it anyway. Thanks, gotta check it out. I wonder if Cletus shop will be affected by the housing development. It's located right on the other side on the tracks. No idea. I don't even know where any of his shit is. I have no idea where any of his stuff is or anything. But if he's out there doing burnouts and dumb shit and two-step checks all the time, not too far from some homes, it's gonna be a problem. Just saw your recent GT500 video, and boy, did you dodge a bullet. Nah. Glad to see it wasn't anything serious. Nah. Probably my favorite car to see besides the Fox. We'll see. I'm going to have a professional have a look at the motor to make sure that I don't trust that nothing. Okay. Imagine I took, because it's still up in the air. So imagine I take the front cover off, inspect everything that I can see, and then redo the timing chains, redo the, actually, I'll show you something that I saw that makes me think that I definitely should send it out to somebody. Hold on. Here. So this right here is what broke. And this is a very specific thing that broke. So what you're looking at right there is the cam. Now this is the exhaust cam. The exhaust cam has a gear on it. The gear on the exhaust cam broke. I didn't just break a chain. I broke the sprocket from the exhaust cam, which has the primary chain spinning the secondary chain. So you see right here, this one has a sprocket still up there. That one still has that. Let's see, my hands are dirty. I was working on the car. Sprocket, and this sprocket broke. So the sprocket broke from the cam, which caused the chain to break. So I thought to myself, I have to, in my opinion, it all has to get torn down and get gone through. But that's really expensive. It's and taking the motor out of the GT500 is no easy task. But we'll see how everything works out. Just giving you an update on that because I don't think it's just a chain, put another chain and go. The sprocket broke off of the cam. So got to look into that. Looking to move to Florida too late. A lot of people move from other states. Is Fort Lauderdale okay? Look. Fort Lauderdale is packed, a lot of people, but it's established. So it's not going to get more packed. But if you go Fort Lauderdale West, it's a shit show. It's a shit show. They're building really fast. It's not keeping up, and it's kind of ghetto. So if I were you, and you can afford it, move to Palm Beach County. Not Dade, not Broward. You and Senior and Junior, another long form bid would be awesome. On the Commie Cup finals are today. Don't even know. I don't even give two shits about the World Cup. What's happening with Matt Sopa nowadays? I think he's doing coyote swap stuff. He's having a kid. He's just living his life. I don't really bug him all that much. You know, if he ever wants to get on, great. But I know that he's still drifting his Fusion. Him and his wife are expecting a baby. He built a nice garage in his property. He seems to just be living his life. And honestly, that's probably better. Like when you think about it, he's just living his life. And that's probably the way shit should be. Please don't leave the tuning. The Coyote guys need you. Guys, I am not that special when it comes to the tuning game. I am a nobody. I am inconsequential. I don't bring anything to the tuning games except advice. I don't bring any vast tuning knowledge. I don't bring smarts. I am not a math guy. I am just a guy who is able to explain some stuff to you guys. And I still will be able to do that whether I'm in the industry or not. I can get you an interview with Phil Schuler or Stevie Fast. Unfortunately, neither of those would work for me because I don't know who Phil Schuler is. And Stevie Fast is beyond what we would know, beyond what this audience would know. That was 2018 when Joe Steele started swinging on the top 3 cars. I was stunned. Yeah, he just showed up. Dark Matter Mach E ×2 says, I've seen tuners and forums call their own customers out. I didn't use Lund, unfortunately. I was happy with my tuner, but most of them, he was very abrupt, borderline, don't bother me attitude. We do that too, but for the dumb ones. Like, we'll call out the dumb ones. No problem. What race is in February? The race in February is Lights Out? Is it Lights Out? Is it 20? Let me see. Is there a Duck X? I typed in fuck. This is fuck X. And you know what? Oh, fuck me. I typed in fuck X. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Okay, so DXP.com. Battle of the Thrones. Lights Out. Okay. February 23 to 26, 2023 South Georgia. South Georgia Motorsports Park is 100%. But look at that's the crate. That track is so legit. So let me see. Is there a admission tech card? Okay, tech card. Event. Okay, so this is okay, this is what's going to be happening. What the fuck? Okay. So Rado versus the World, Pro 275, ODR, X275, Ultra Street, Limited 235. Wow, they got Limited 235, the little tires. Cool. 6.0 index, open comp, no time. Stick shift. Gear Bangers stick shift. $10,000 to win. Driver admission not included. Guys, that's the one you want to watch. $10,000 for a stick class, and it's probably going to be outlaw. Run what you brung, no bullshit. So, in my opinion, a race to watch to see what the future of stick shift racing can be is this, because this could be the one that takes the temperature of where motherfuckers are at. Are people actually gonna get after it on a Duck X race? So, South Georgia Motorsports Park, February 23 to 26, we're watching Gear Bangers stick shift, and we're going to see if that is something people take serious, because the money is serious, and that's the one to watch, and that will set the pace for the rest of the year. What's going to happen is this: if 30 or 40 cars show up, or 50, and they start running sixes and dumb shit, people are going to go, ooh, maybe we want to get in that. And you're going to start seeing big money motherfuckers that would never even would have thought of joining stick shift racing, getting on the action for the money. Good shit. That shop dyno was loud as fuck. We still have missing pieces to find. Cheap insurance, having the whole motor inspected. Exactly. Cletus should get an EV so he won't bother his new neighbors soon. Alex, what's your goal with the blue car? Sending out the motor, build back better? Look, if I do send out the motor, it is to build back better. Right now, it's like a 9-to-5 or 10-to-1 compression, or a 9-to-8. It's up there, but not real big boy compression. If I do send the motor out, I would like to probably send it to Keith Ray, Wonder Racing. That's the guy for, in my opinion, 5.4, 5.8 stuff. He does kind of stuff too, but 5.4, 5.8, to me, that's the guy. The motor's already sleeved. The motor already has badass, 300M rods or whatever the fuck. So I'd like to ask him about raising compression and maybe cams. If there's nothing wrong with the car, meaning if the bores aren't scuffed up and anything, blah, 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 I could say, hey, Keith, can we get after it and do high compression stuff and get some cams in there, because the sprocket broke on the exhaust cam, so I'm sure it's going to need a new cam, so I'm going to have to pony up for some cam, and we'll see what he says, because I want to make 11, or I already made 1100, so 1200 is the goal, just another 100 horse, but with less boost. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to have to put a 30 pounds of boost to the fucking thing for it to make good power. Metal went somewhere. Exactly. Morning, looking at 19 GTs Canadian, I think. Should I stay away? All I see is different tack. Red line starts at 6,500. Thanks. I don't think it matters because Ben Callender has a Canadian GT and he has no issues. It too is exactly the same. Nothing changes. Oh my God, all the comments. In my experience, when timing chain belt breaks on an interference engine, the motor should be torn apart to inspect everything. I agree. I wonder if those stock sprockets in the chain. Yes. I think so. Bare minimum, that heads need to come off and check all the valves. I agree. Coyote swap the GT500. I've thought about it. Don't think I haven't thought about Coyote swapping the GT500. But the problem with me is this. Then I'm going to own that car forever. And I don't want to own that car forever. I want to keep a 5.8 in it. But the problem is I think I'm going to own that car forever regardless because people are going to look at it as a race car. They're not going to look at it as something that can cruise. So, I don't know. If I send it to Keith and he's like, this would be $15,000, I'm like, I'm sticking a Coyote in it. Do you think what happened to Section 8 will be what's causing it to run slower than it should, binding things up, which finally just reared its ugly head? I don't think so. I can already hear all the mouth breathers. It was the tune, right, on a fucking cam sprocket. Is Florida becoming the next California? No. It's red. It's super red here. The problem is a lot of people coming here don't understand what Florida is, and they try to bring their bullshit with it. If you come from Massachusetts, leave the Massachusetts in Massachusetts, leave the California in California, leave the Michigan in Michigan, leave the Ohio in Ohio, leave the Buffalo Bill Bar in Buffalo. What would make the Whipple 13 shift into 5th at the track on slicks? What would make my 13 shift into 5th at the shift schedule? Shit. He probably has 373s and an auto. Were those upgraded stock chains? I don't know. The chains were upgraded, but the sprocket was what broke. John Lund Jr. is the king of Coyote tuning. That's arguable. I mean, not arguable, but like it's hard to argue against that point. Do you know what I mean? Super chats. We don't do that. Yeah, we do. If there's poor motherfuckers on Sundays, they fucking do super chats because I used to turn off all the chats on Sunday. But now, fuck that. If you want to pay for a chat and you're poor, you can pay that way. Last Texas 2K in March, right? Let's see those search results, right? I typed in fuck X by mistake. Is there a way to donate there? Are they going to stream? I think they're going to stream on Flow Racing. Can I use the firmware on Lund Racing website to update my Engage from, even though it's an unlocked VMP unit? No. And it will show the ethanol percentage? No. My budget, you can use a Lund Racing firmware on a HP Tuner's Engage. My budget is $400,000 to $500,000. Is that affordable for West Palm Beach County? Yep, absolutely. You're not going to have a Billy Badass house, though, but you're going to have a nice 3.2 with about a third of an acre. 10 Gs, a lot of heavy hitters in here. Are you doing it live? No, I'm not going to do it live. There's no bandwidth at tracks like that, unless I get Starlink. Must have been from banging off the limiter with those burnouts. Pulling that motor is going to be a pain, but I appreciate the videos because I actually learned something. Are we watching the race live? I don't know. I'm not going to broadcast it live. Are you psycho? Go to Flow Racing and get a membership and watch it live. Can someone hurry up and hook up an engine to a GeForce 101 and make it a true run what you brung? The problem is they're going to do stick shift. Now, H pattern is not actually. Are there rules? Let me go to DuckX Production. Oh, wait. Are there rules? Let's go to the rules. Fuck. Tech cards. So let's go events, rides, racetracks. About. Is there rules? Let me see. I'll do it with you guys because I want to see what kind of rules they got. I'm going to talk to Joe. I should have Joe Steele to promote it. Joe Steele, if you want to get on, promote this. We'll promote this race and we'll see what the deal is. But fuck, it doesn't say. It doesn't say events. News. Let me see. They're just copying stuff from other sites. Right. This is the flow. What the fuck is that? Okay, fuck that. Okay, let me see. Does it say rules? There we go. Classes and rules. Okay. It's probably on the bottom. Yeah, gear bangers. Rules. Imports, rules, domestics. Oh, shit. Okay, let's start with domestics. Oh, this is good. What the fuck? Not now. Stick shift domestic. Wow, this is badass. Can I fucking zoom in? Okay, here we go. Classic Nation stick. General safety. All safety must conform with general IHRA safety rules. Engine containment device. Engine diaper or catch pan device. Capture all debris and mandatory. If a catch pan devices used. Catch can must have minimum 2-inch high lip on all sides. Lips must be covered inward. Hey, it sounds like vagina. So as to contain oil pan. Catch can must blah blah. Beam ripper. A front beam ripper, meaning a dong extender, is permitted but can only extend 45 inches forward of the center line of the front wheel. And you guys have seen those things, those dongs in front of the cars. Engine coolant. Only water is permitted in the coolant system. Antifreeze and other additives is prohibited. Chassis. All cars may run 3/4 chassis, steel roof and quarters. OEM firewall, OEM strut towers, and OEM, but must retain OEM firewall, OEM strut towers, OEM location, and within 2 inches of OEM wheelbase. Modifying the firewall, mounting for a mid-plate is permitted. Aftermarket kit members are permitted. Suspensions. All cars must utilize stock mounting points for suspensions in the stock location. Any type of suspension is permitted. You could have a ladder bar. They don't give a fuck. Aftermarket front and rear control arms are permitted. Subframe connectors are permitted. Wheelie bars are prohibited. No wheelie bars. You're going to do backflips. Transmission. They did it. They said H pattern. Aftermarket stock style clutch assisted H pattern manual transmissions with H pattern shifters are required. Strain gauges are permitted. I'm not a fan, but whatever. It's all good. I get it. Look, I get it. Aftermarket bell housings are permitted. You think? A 3,000 horsepower car with a stock bell housing. Air, pneumatic, or electric shifters are prohibited. Theoretically, an electric shifter is a strain gauge. No offense. A strain gauge and an electric shifter, all you're doing is pulling back, whatever. Clutch. Adjustable or slipper style clutches are permitted. Clutch must be manually operated by the driver's foot. But they don't say anything about in between the shifts, but that's okay. Tires. All tires are checked by sidewall designation. See tires restriction below. Rear wheel drive radials are limited to 275 60/15. Damn! They're limiting you to a 275 tire. Slicks or DOTs can be 28 to 11.5W. Woo wee. All right, let's see the imports, because I mean, I don't care about imports, to be honest with you. I literally don't give a shit about imports, but we'll see. No thanks. Same shit. Stock mounting points. The wheelie bars are only permitted on rotary cars and I see. So you're gonna have a lot of starlets. The Puerto Ricans are gonna show up. Transmission, aftermarket, blah, 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 blah. And then the tires, just the difference is the tires that they allow. Okay, so it's going to be badass. So you're going to see H pattern starlets, H pattern anything that is within 2 inches of a stock wheelbase. Dong extensions are permitted. So it's going to be a big boy race, guys. This is going to be a big fucking deal, in my opinion. The Black GT500 says, I'm thinking of coyote swapping my 07 GT500 and doing the twin turbo route. I've talked to Power by the Hour and already they told me everything I need. It's super easy. What say ye? Absolutely. The GT500 motor is not, I repeat, is not as robust as a Coyote. That's just facts. Not only is the Coyote engine smaller in size, it is just way more efficient. And with boost, you can make way more power on a stock Gen 2 and Gen 3 than you could do safely on a 07 to 14 GT500. Mine is built, but that doesn't mean it's better than a Coyote. A built FFRE or built Keith Ray engine or built TKM engine, Coyote will make more power than a Trinity motor, period. Bottom line. Now, unless you do Billy Badass stuff, dumb stuff, O-ring stuff, crazy shit, then yeah, maybe then the 5.4 and 5.8 can be made to be a 2,500 to 3,000 horsepower deal. But when it comes to like stock-ish applications, you're better off with the Coyote. Off topic, but the Spirit of the Peasant chat. The Navy has lowered the acquired ASVAB score to as low as 10. Insane. They're going to get it after it in records and always broken at this race, and tens of thousands of eyes will be on them. Lucid and Tesla, speak on it, Alex. I already talked about it. Lucid right now, Sapphire, has the quickest and fastest electric sedan. But the McMurtry, whatever the fuck, that thing ran 7th, bro, in wet pavement. Or not wet, but not necessarily. It's rear-wheel drive, and it went 7 something. Coyote swapping means marrying that car, exactly. 15 plus Coyote swap that thing, yeah. How much do you think it is to build a Trinity motor? How much? Forget the Coyote swap. Talk about the tuning, the engine harness. Like, I'd have to completely reconfigure my whole life. Now, what I could do is this. I could send that motor to Keith Ray, right? And say, freshen it up. For sale. right? Let's talk on. Let's speak on that. Let's speak on that. I could say, Keith, freshen it up. Charge me what you're gonna charge me, whatever. For sale. I don't think I could sell that motor for $12K. I don't think so. So, but if someone wants a Billy Badass Trinity motor, they can have it. And then I could say, okay, that'll finance my Gen 2 built Coyote. But then what? What do you do? Twin turbo on the GT500? Come on, stop it. Get your money, Alex. But Alex loved low compression for boost. Imagine a non-member pay for a comment. Just pay the sub. That's what I'm saying. I'm just kind of broke. Says it's just a dick. Is Cobra Jet on a GT350 gonna do any decent gains? Yes, because of the rev range. You're gonna make good top end power. Going to Texas 2K sounds like gonna be an actual sports game in person. I'm good watching from my couch and TV. It's an Auto 315 tuned by Lund. Get Quick 13. Did you swap your tires from what you were tuned with to a different set of tires at the track? Because you can't do that. If you are going to race a Gen 1 Auto Mustang, you have to dial it in on the tires that you intend to race with. Flow Racing, okay, thanks. Support the things I enjoy. 7.3 swap GT500 so you can have 7-inch pistons. Alex, can you show me when the Gen 3 hood needs to be cut exactly for a CJ to fit? No. Why don't you do it? Just no. Why don't you just lower the motor mounts? Could you imagine the Shelby guys getting bent out of shape if you Coyote swap it? They don't care. They don't care anymore. They used to care, but they don't care anymore. Can you H-pattern a jet? That would be amazing. What gear would you recommend for an 18 and up MT82? I was thinking about 456s. That sounds really fucking stupid. Just a fucking 409, dude. 409 and you're good. Yeah, just remove the hood. Exactly. You see Tesla drop their prices to meet its fourth quarter earnings. Model 3 performance is tempting. It is tempting. Does Leroy qualify? Yeah. Because his wheelbase is within 2 inches, right? Leroy qualifies. His wheel, okay, that's not a Cletus-friendly event. But in my opinion, Cletus should absolutely go to lights out. Absolutely. But be ready, Cletus, to go to a track that these motherfuckers don't play that shit. You know, you might be betting motherfuckers. You might end up in a dice game. Be mindful about South Georgia Motorsports Park. I've never seen him at South Georgia Motorsports Park. Have you? That's a G type fucking joint. So if you go there racing, you got to come with like security. 275. I'm looking forward to watching this even more now. Slipper clutches should not be permitted. In my opinion, it takes away the skill. No, it doesn't, Monty 540. Come on, man. What the fuck? What the fuck did you just say? Slipper clutches take away the skill? So, you have a 3,000 horsepower car. I repeat, 3,000 horsepower car that is turbo, and you got to get up on the chip. You think he should have a McLeod RXT? You think he should have a Mantic Dual? He said it takes away the skill. You think they're going to slip 3,000 horsepower? Oh, it takes away the skill. Bye. Are you psycho? Come on, Monty 540. You know better. And yes, I call anything Shelby 07 to present Halo cars. I don't even know what that means. That's why Halo cars never interested me. Don't know what that means. Is that like the highest end of the vehicle? Would long tube headers, no cats, drop the boost in my supercharged third gen Coyote? Yes. That doesn't mean it makes less power. It means there's less of a restriction, so you make more power. Jason says, morning peasants, dropping a like, and I'll catch a replay tomorrow. When I saw Lucid clip, my jaw was on the floor. It remained there for McMurtry's 7-second pass. Had to scrape it off the floor afterwards. Unreal. The electric car game is going to change the way you view how cars drive. Dark Horse is going to be 60 Gs fully loaded for 500 horsepower. Can't wait to gap them with less than $50,000 Whipple. Like $20,000 in parts alone plus all the labor. Opinions on It's Just a Six Black car. Don't know shit about it, so I can't speak on it. He's not going to because they don't have special rules for him. The thing about DuckX stuff, he don't give a fuck, right? He'll go in and talk shit on you. And if you're tuning cars on his property, he wants a cut. You know, he's like, hey, I'm about taking your money. So if you're going to come to my property and blow up 6 cars and charge motherfuckers $3,000 a pop, I want a tuner's fee. And I'm like, you're not wrong. Because let's think about that. Tuners can go to a track and have 6 customers and have remote track support. So the tuner goes into the track for general admission. He has 6 or 7 customers. The track puts on the prep, the venue, the people, the prize money. And the tuner literally can walk away with $8,000 to $10,000 with a $50 entry fee for the weekend or $200 entry fee for the weekend. So Duck X is like, wait a minute. You're going to come into my race. You're going to pay $200 for admission. And you're going to walk away with $8,000 whether your ship blows up or not? I want some of that money. And I'm okay with that. I have a G2 kit on my 6R80 Gen 2 120mm pulley. Also I have 1000cc and tuned by Lund. Looking to make more power. What's the smallest pulley? You got to get a 4 fuel system. Forget anything that you got to do right now. You got to get a fuel system. Fuel system first, and then you can make whatever power you want. Up to about 800 or so with that injector. If you want to make any more power, you got to get a better injector, but you're probably going to be close to the limits of the motor anyway. Cletus will be in the barbecue cook-off with Maggie and Steve. Garrett Mitchell gets jacked up at a dice game behind Leroy. You have to adjust slippers every single damn run. Here comes the Peasant Chat hot takes. Exactly. Good morning, hot gang. Hope all is well. Cletus are lights out. They're gonna grudge educate him and take his track. Stop it. Hell, no, he's never there. Well, I never looked for him. Right. I get it. Maybe a slipper class only. Right. Good morning. Don't know that. Didn't know that. It was on Drag Race before. I can fix paying for revision. Oh, exactly. So a lot of people do this, right? And this is a really good subject matter to talk about Quick 13. So a lot of people have a Gen 1 6R80 car and they go, okay, Alex, I'd like to get it tuned. And on the order, it says 285, 35, 19s. So on Gen 1 cars specifically, you have to dial in the revs per mile, the N over V, and the axle ratio, and tire size, everything. Because that is how the car calculates where the shift should happen. There's an area that says shift at this RPM, but if the axle ratio is wrong, the N over V is wrong, and the shift schedule is wrong, it won't shift properly. So a lot of people do this. They get tuned and dialed in on a 285, 35, 19 tire. Then they go to the track and put on a 26, 10.5 by 15. So now the N over V is off, the shift schedule is off, everything is off on a Gen 1 6R80 car. Gen 2, OSS shift schedule, it just shifts. RPM shift schedule, it just shifts. Gen 3, OSS and RPM, it just shifts. Gen 1 has to be specific for the tires. Got to get paid. Cleat don't want to pay royalties on his merch. Right. So if you go, like, DuckX is the type of guy that'll be like, you come here to race. But if you go there with a production crew, a camera crew, and this whole nine, he's gonna say, "Get the fuck off the line, fuck you, give me money." Like he's gonna get his, because again, he's putting on the show. He's fronting the money to get the vendors in there, to get all those relationships. Everything that's there is because of the guy who made the race happen. And he'll be damned if you're gonna go in there with an entry fee and walk out with $8,000. I like it. Speaking of hot takes, what happened to Admiral Peck? I don't know. No idea. Do I need a tune change if I change my blow-off valve vacuum source? Notice my fuel trims become rich. No. Think about it. Like, do some critical thinking there. If your vacuum source is capped and you get another vacuum source for your blow-off valve, theoretically, you don't need retuning. Why would you need retuning if you're just sourcing a different vacuum source? If you have a rich condition, I don't think the change of vacuum source is causing a fueling issue. If anything, it would be lean, right? I don't know where you're grabbing it from. So it's kind of like a long-winded way of answering a question that seems to be kind of like up in the air. He went back to work for Top Fuel Cars again. What's he talking about? Oh, Admiral Peck. Yeah. Admiral Peck is with Connie Coletta. Connie Coletta is dead. What am I talking about? Is it Connie Coletta? I'm saying the dumbest shit. Oh, no, he's still around. He's still around. Okay. I was like, what am I talking about? I had to Google that shit. Not a bad job removing the engine. It comes out the bottom with a K member out but you need a lift. I'm going to read that again. Not a bad job removing the engine. It comes out the bottom with the K member, but you need a lift. You know what's funny about this stuff, right? If you didn't know, and you went on the internet, and someone told you, you have to take the K member off, you have to drop it from the bottom, there's no other way. I look at that and I go, nah. 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 Like, why? Why does it have to come out from the bottom? Mr. King says, that's true. If his tuner masked the vacuum leak and he fixed it, then it would be rich. There you go, Mr. King. Oh my God, Mr. King, I wish I can give you cookies or something. Because you understand that if he changed his vacuum source and it is now rich, that means whoever was tuning him before covered up a vacuum leak. And if it was me, I probably told you 1 trillion times, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And they go, yeah, there's no fucking leaks, man. Okay, here you go. Trims are good. Then they change the vacuum source. Boom, 30% fucking rich. This is pen chat from the top. I've done them. It's pretty easy. Yeah, it's pretty easy when you have a facility. It's pretty easy when you have a $5,000 a month lease and a lift. Oh, it's cake when you have... Come on. Like, stop it. Like, people need to stop it. If you have access to a lift, if you have access to a garage, you have to put that into account. So why don't you say this? Yeah, it's really easy to remove the motor from the bottom of the car if you have a building and a lift. So then they go, oh, so a $400,000 building or $4,000 lease a month and a lift? Like, don't say it's easy when people don't have that shit. Stop it. You know, if I had telekinesis, I would just be able to go. And motor's out. Oh, it's easy. It's telekinesis. It's telekinesis. It's no big deal, bro. Look, boom, the engine's built. It's easy. Imagine telling the boomer you have to pull the K member. Right. Why do you S550 guys not know how that up to 700 rear horsepower Gen 1 is nasty as fuck? They all keep running up and I beat them down. Wow. Wait a minute. Let me...
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
Hey man, why do S550 guys know help that 700 horsepower and Gen 1 is nasty as fuck? They keep running up and be beating them down. The fuck? Why do S550 guys not know how that up to about 700 Gen 1 is nasty at... Wow. I don't know what the fuck he said. I get it, but goddamn, it's written terribly. My cross member is welding in so from the top only. The English language is difficult to use. Is the Siley fuel system any good for 800 horsepower? Is that the goal? No. Gen 2, 4 Innovations is the only fuel system I recommend. Anything called budget should not be bought. Love you. It's even easier if you take it into a shop. Right. You know, right. Well, you know, it's really easy to pull the motor out of the car. Just take it to a shop. He probably could change the vacuum source because he couldn't get the leak fixed using the last one. So when I rebuilt my Coyote at home, pulled the entire front end apart and pulled the engine out the front. Got it. Just get the building, Alex. That's why we pay the memberships. Oh my God. Having LTF lift, having a lift makes the job easier. Hooked on Phonics works for me. It's easier if you have Snap-on tool truck with you, right? Exactly. Oh, it's easy when you just pull it out the bottom with a lift. I'm like, oh, okay, got it. Thank you. Appreciate that. You don't need a lift. I've pulled plenty of motors in my driveway on jack stands with an engine hoist. I agree. Just tuning in, no pun intended. Hey yo, it was English, but it was just written really badly. Wow, the pores are out today. It was pretty bad. I didn't really understand what the hell he was getting at. He keeps beating what down up to 7. So okay, I'm gonna speak jive here for a second and see where's he at. Where's he at? It was like a yellow. Where's he at? So I'll speak jive and I'll tell him how he should have formulated that question. Okay. I have a 700 horsepower Gen 1, and I beat down these S550 guys, and all I make is about 700 rear wheel horsepower. Alex, I have a lift you can use anytime, but I'm in California. Easier if you live there. I love that. I love that. Monty 540 said two of the most retarded things. Number one, don't allow slipper clutches in 3,000 horsepower cars because it takes the skill away. Got it. Two, pulling an engine out of a car is cake if you have a lift and a building to do so. Got it. That's why I love this chat. I'm just saying, people think the S550 is somehow faster just because it's newer. No. Look, the Gen 1, in my opinion, it's lighter. It's got a solid rear axle. And for drag racing, it's right there. You don't need a lot of power. Do you think it would be smart if I built electric stations like gas stations and room for travelers? What the fuck are you talking about? Take the car to Turvey, he'll get it upside down. Or taking it upside down. I guess he's beating his rods down at 700 rear horsepower. You need a red pen. What fuel upgrades would you recommend on a Gen 3 safely sustained 800 horsepower on ESS G3? Well, you guys saw that I made 700. I'm sorry. I didn't make 800. I made 795 horsepower with a stock fuel pump and race gas. But if you have a 4 Innovations level 2, 285 pumps, 110 millimeter pulley, and E85, 800 is not a problem. The phone did it. Talk to text. Ha 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 ha. Liar. 2-stroke bloke. Mo better. Let me see what happens if. Let me see what happens when I type something in. What the hell did I just say? Okay, let me see. I'm gonna compose a text, and I'm gonna read his shit back. I want to see what it says. 2-stroke bloke. 2-stroke bloke, was it? Harley, god damn it. 2-stroke. See, the problem is your shit's grayed out, so it's really difficult to find. You see what I mean? Okay, here we go. Why do S550 guys not know how that up to 700 wheel horsepower, a Gen 1 is nasty as fuck? They keep running up and beating them down. Okay. So it wrote, oh Jesus. Why do I say 50 guys not know how that up to 700 wheel horsepower, a Gen 1 is nasty as fuck? They keep running up and beating. Okay, so I think you're wrong. I think exactly what you said is what the fucking AI picked up. So it's an Android, so you can say all that shit about that. So it picked it up fine. I think you're lying. Don't blame it on talk to text. Blame it on your talk. Exactly. So that's how you talk. Exactly. More faster. See, Ryan is street, but I'm more streeter. More better, but dispenser. What about what are these questions? Why isn't 410, 430 and rear gears more popular than stick shift? Oh. Peasant questions coming in hot. Why isn't 410, 430 and up rear gears more popular than stick shift coyote builds, seeing as they are favor higher the RPM, blah, 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 blah. Hey, let me ask you a question, Black Cobra 95. What transmissions were in these Fox bodies? Go. Boy, you guys can answer this. Boy, this peasant chat's great. Why isn't 410, 430, and up more popular in stick shift coyote builds, seeing as they favor higher RPM as opposed to the old Fox body Windsor builds? Can anyone tell Black Cobra why? Does he know the gear ratios on an MT82? Like, does he know the gear ratios on an MT82? Hey, Black Cobra 95, on a 11 to 20 17 MT82, which gear is 1-to-1? You think fourth? Fourth? You think fourth is 1-to-1? Fifth is 1-to-1. The MT82 has ridiculous gearing. Ridiculous gearing. It's not a T5. It's not a T45. It's not a T56. It's not a TR6060. It's not a world-class T5. It's an MT82 with like a 290. It's like a 3-something first. MT82 gear ratios. Okay, here you go, because you need to be educated. Right here, this is the one that matters. 15 to, no. This is wrong. By the way, this is factually incorrect because 2018 is different. So let's do this one. This is the one that matters. 366 first gear, 243 second, 169 third, 132 fourth, 1 to 1 fifth. That's why they don't have insane 373s in boost. You're into fifth at the end of the quarter mile. The gearing is way steeper. Exactly. That's why. That's why. Didn't Turvey answer this question by accident? Ejectocito, because eighth is his cat makes 200 horsepower, so he needs more gear like Turvey. Do you really want to shift 5 times in the quarter? No. But this 5 times, so you're in 6? Because you don't shift in the first. Bro, just put 556 in your car. It'll go real fast then. First would be like a granny gear in a truck. Exactly. I mean, guys, ridiculous. Some people just don't get it. Like, some people are stuck in that world of Fox Body and maybe SN, and they never graduated to Coyote because, let's say, they're broke or they already built their race car off of that platform and they don't want to get into a new platform. Then when they sit down in a Coyote that has 373s from the factory and they've gone through 3 gears and 20 feet, they go, what the hell is happening? And I'm like, did you look up the gear ratios, dude? He wants a 3rd gear launch. The special ed is strong today because MT82 is greater than a T45. Higher gears means more horsepower. Alex, what rear end do you run in your GT500? 373s, because it's a turbo 400. Reed case 186 first gear, turbo 400. T5 and SODs, because that's what BJ said. Who's BJ? He wants to put an 18 gear trans. Oh, I love this chat. They stay Fox Body all their life. I don't think people think about gear ratios in the trans when they get rear gears. No. Be shifting gears like Fast and Furious. Correct. Like, I'm blown away that a lot of people, the first mod they do, like on a 6R80 car, they throw 373s in the rear end. And I'm like, you put 373s in a boosted 6R80 Gen 1? Yup. And then, okay, here you go. I'm going to go to the track next week, Alex. Okay, good luck. They come back Monday. So I went to the track and I was having a bunch of traction issues. Do you have any idea? Then after we go through the shocks and stuff, I go, you got a 3C converter, right? Yep. You got 373s in the rear. Yep. First gear on a 6R80 is 409. What? First gear on a 6R80 is 409. That's bullshit. What do we... Put a 315 gear back in. I just took that out. Put it back in. He wants the Gear Vendors MT82 because mo shifts means mo better. Morning. Gear ratio doesn't matter. Differential coolers matter. This is the entertainment I missed during the week. It would be like if in your 4 low the whole time. I'm staying on 331s. Smart guy. Do nitrous tunes have different cam timing versus NA or booster tunes? Not generally. We've tried different cam timing on boosted applications, and we've noticed that it doesn't really help all that much. So for those people that said they have nitrous cams or something like that, maybe the intake is allowed to stay open a little longer for cylinder fill. But generally, the cam timing that is NA is so optimal that it also works for nitrous applications. Generally. Man's going to be shifting gears like what Bishop did to Hudson from Aliens. Not sure. A diff cooler matters on a drag car unless Turvey installed them. The Lord's transmission, the T5. So my Gen 1 MT82 Factory 373s wouldn't keep traction under any boost in any gear. Looking to go Vortec, street only. 331s. Yeah, look, I had a TVS with 373s. It was a problem. It was a problem to hook that car up. It was a genuine problem. Shifts at the 60-foot. 5.0 Tussin, 456. Yeah, Fox body guy, but he's fast. Usually Z spec T5. Guys, you understand that if you don't make any power, you compensate that with gear, right? I went 1150s, 1170s with 430s, a Tremec 3550, and maybe 260 horsepower. If you don't make a lot of power, more gear makes more sense. But Alex, I want to launch in forth. The first mod of 373 gears, if anything, why would they swap a stronger drive shaft, providing they still have a stock drive shaft? Telling you, dude, a lot of people that buy a Mustang bring their Fox body mentality with it. And the cheaper the Gen 1 will be, the more fucked up mods you're going to start seeing. You're going to start seeing put cold airs on cars and not think they need a tune and blow their car up. Why'd it blow up? You put a bigger cold air. I put a bigger cold air on my 88 GT. It wasn't a problem. You put a bigger cold air on a 40-year-old car and you're comparing that to this. Yeah, what's the big deal? It's an air pump, Alex. I don't see what the big deal is. Okay, you know way more than I do. Got it. Yeah, definitely need a diff cooler if you eyeballed the gear lash. The game they played with the knife and Hudson hand, Alex, I know it was reaching. Yeah, come on, stop it. I like my 315s with my 10R80. Most shifts make me look cool. Bishop with that knife speed. Okay. Little Richard Holdner says, if it makes good power NA, then it's a good power adder cam. But Alex, the world's greatest mystery still remains. What's a good size for Gen 2? More gear, more better, not enough power, more gear. Like Honda guy. The 3-valve days of swapping to 410s. No, yeah, it's an air pump with a soul. Exactly. So you got to understand that people that bring their Fox body stuff to this, like, okay, I had a guy who had a Fox body. Guy knew some stuff. The guy knew some stuff. So his car was having stalling issues. I suspected his mass air, or the MAF sensor was seeing turbulent under hood. It was a Fox body with a Coyote swap. It was seeing turbulence under the hood. So I was like, man, this thing's stalling. It's really crucial to put this in this. And he goes, well, on my Fox body, all I did was crack the throttle a little more and it wouldn't stall. On your Fox body with an A9L computer, you would crack the throttle a little more and it wouldn't stall. Thanks for that. Alex, should I stay with stock 355s on a street car? 3rd gen, Coyote, Whipple, MT82, or should I drop to 331? 3rd gen Coyote, you actually stay on that gear. Stay on 355s. Preferably, I'd be on 373s. Because when you break that transmission and you move on to a Ben Calamer D4 MT82, the gears are longer and slightly closer together, but they're generally longer. So I would definitely keep that gear or step up to 373s. But Alex, in the forum, they said I need more gear. More gear equals more power. My Gen 3 made 641 wheel. I feel the 409 would feel way more fun out back on the back roads. Okay, have at it. The back roads. A Fox body with Anderson PMS. Right. What actually is a nitrous cam? I mean, I get it. The grind is different for nitrous, but it seems gimmicky to me. Right. When you think about it, is you're bringing in as much air as possible NA. Because it's NA, so you really have to dial in the cylinder fill, the timing, everything. So you're dialing in the cam to take in as much air as possible. Overlap is not really a thing, NA. I mean, it can be, but not really because it's an NA Coyote. And then you optimize the cam timing for best performance NA. So nitrous is like a false introduction of oxygen, DA, and all that stuff. Why would you need to change the cam timing that drastically from an optimized NA setup for nitrous? Maybe the nitrous companies can tell me. I see other tuners are selling multi-tune now, like more tunes, more better. Yeah, so PCM Tech said, you know, the problem, there's a good and bad. PCM Tech is expensive. And we developed the tunes with them for our stuff. So the multi-tunes you get with us might be able to be tuned with your current device, but there's no press release on that at all. So the multi-tunes are a little on the pricey side because we have to buy the tokens from them. And then we have specific stuff like Ghost Cam on the fly, Flex Fuel stuff, Flex Fuel Learning, timing ramp. We could do so many freaking things with it. But there was like a small window where we could dial it in and make it exclusive. And we did. But it didn't take off because I think Coyote guys are broke. So other tuners, PCM Tech reached out to everyone else because it's smart. They said, hey, we need other tuners to provide this product, and have at it. If you want to get multi-tuned by your shit-ass company, have at it, brother. It's not going to be a Lund Racing multi-tune. It'll be a whatever the fuck company you are fucking with right now multi-tune. Already planning for Cal Stage 3, D4, as soon as it breaks. Thanks for the advice. How much does tire height affect gear ratio? A lot. Hey, SC Formula. If you... a lot. So if you if you somehow are able, okay, so this is Bigfoot, okay? So Bigfoot with this tire setup, gear ratio wise, might be very affected as opposed to these tires back here. Oh, Jesus Christ. We don't need all that. So if your gear ratio is, yes, your gear ratio is highly affected. What the fuck shit ass music is this? They must have gotten the Windows Movie Maker software. Hey, what music do you want to pick? Gay rock? Got it. Got you. So, if these tires, oh my lord, if these tires are installed, it might feel a little different than with these tires. So to answer your question in a very generic way, yes. Oh, fuck you, man. I want you to be specific. I want you to give me ratios. Richard Holdner has been debunking the different turbo, blower, and nitrous cams for a while. Doesn't matter. Improved airflow. I believe that. Yep. Did PCM Tech get your email list? PBD sent me an email for multi-tunes and have never emailed them or bought them. No. They don't get our email list. No. Big tires need bigger. No. At one point, Ashton, you inquired. If you got an email from them, you inquired at one point or another. For life, wow. Do you think my car will be faster boosted with 3 1/4 cams, 456, 10 R80? Bam, multi-tunes. Mustang guys are broke. That's why you buy a Mustang. Exactly. Look, Mustang guys are broke. So if PCM Tech wants to say, hey, look, it's gonna be $200-300 every time you want something different, Mustang guys are gonna go, I want crackles, I want burbles, look, the two-step stuff, we got that shit on lock. The 6R80 trans stuff that Junior put on there, nobody has access to that. I repeat, nobody but Lund Racing has access to 6R80 on the button, bumpity bump and trans brake stuff. Only Lund Racing has access, but we haven't released it because you guys are poor. Generally speaking, if a cam or set of cams make 10% more power NA, it makes roughly 10% more power boosted or with nitrous. 10% more power adder, it's just way more power gain. Got it. The peasant chat is on fire today. It's peasantry filled. Just put a set of 10s on your 3rd gen and you'll run 8s. Ayo, mad late, but I'll catch a replay. 2-inch of tire height is equal to a difference of 315 to 355 roughly. Nope, no power, more tire. Oh, look, Alex, there's a jack stands under Bigfoot that you need to drop the engine in the GT. Alex, it's so easy to drop the engine from the GT500. Just buy a $1 million building, a bend pack lift, a $15,000 compressor, cake. Alex, GT500 6R80 Lund tuned, making 700 real horsepower. So it's a 9-second car. You'll have a 9-second car right there. Plan to keep putting more into it down the road. Completely stock rear. Holding on for dear life. Recommendations for upgraded rear. In my opinion, you should get S-track or a wave track differential. I think the axles are okay, automatic. I think the thing that's going to go the quickest is the stock differential itself. So I would go with like a wave track or an S-track from Strange or a wave track from, I think, Mosier. Because it's a gear set as opposed to, like, it's almost like, and I forget the type of gears that it is, but it's just a much stronger gear set. It still allows you to turn the car and not lock the differential, but when power is applied, both wheels get the best amount of power. Let's look it up real quick. S-Track Strange. S-Track differential. So this will be Torsen limited slip. Traction lock, S-Track. Do they give like a internal view so you know what you're getting? Let me see S-Track. So no, they don't have a is this an S-Track Pro Touring? No, 9-inch weight. Okay, so basically, yeah, so this is a good one. So this is what it's going to look like, more or less, okay? As opposed to a traditional differential. So take a look at this one real good. Keep a mental note of that. And we'll see. That's what an S-Track looks like. See these gears that are all funky and like Torsen style? And then we'll put 8.8 different. And you see how the stock one looks? That's how the stock one looks. So you're going to want something like a wave track to make it more robust for the GT500. And Power by the Hour use this all the time on their super high-end builds, meaning 1200 horsepower and up. 8.8, they just threw an S-Track in it, and it was fucking awesome. They had really, really good success. Joey Basil, I think. Joey Basil still has one of the most badass Coyotes out there. You don't even know about that car. I don't even know why that car should be sold to me. But I ain't got that money. I would have gotten a Hellcat if I wasn't broke. Hey, Alex, you get a Ford dealership and then you can pull the motor. Right. Fuel prices going down for you? Yes. In the process of completing my built engine GT500 with cams, Gen 3R, and PBH 6RD swap with a 4R200 hub. What gear do you run with a 29-inch tall tire? Will be Lund-tuned, of course. 4R200 hub? How much horsepower are you going to be making? I would say you could run a 331 with a 4R200 or a 355. I don't know if I would do a 373 unless your car's heavy. Probably a 373 if you retained the overdrive. If you did not retain the overdrive, I would do a 355. My 373 gears would hit 112 stock and fourth gear with a 28-inch tire. I was going to 126 with a couple of more RPMs. Big Block, you recommend Auburn differentials for Fox body stuff? Sure. True Truck with helical gears. Thank you, helical. Wave Track and S-Track are helical differentials. They use worm gears instead of spiders. Thank you very much. See, a peasant said that. JSE Decker actually giving you some info. I get you, but that's why most Corvette guys have tons of money to pay someone else to have a shop. I don't think he gets the joke. Godzilla swapped the GT500, less cams, mo better. What power level does the stock drive shaft need to be swapped? 3rd gen S550. It's not a power level. Big Block 402. Why do you think it's a power level? Let's say you have stock power and you take a slick equipped S550 with a stock drive shaft and do a clutch dump at a sticky track. Sasso! You're going to go, man, what's that smell? What's that smell?
Ooh, what's that smell?
Sasso.
Sasso, man. That's Sasso. Used to be wrong.
So it's not a power level thing. It's a traction and power and torque thing. Do as much R&D as Ford did on the Lightning, then drop the batteries in section. Hey. Sunoco 260 GT is $17.99 a gallon. Is that a lot? Yeah, I pay $10 a gallon. That's it. It's still a lot. What are the preferred F-150 gears? Father will disown me if I don't have a truck. What are the preferred Coyote F-150 gears? 10R80 331s, right? 10R80 331s and 6R80 355s, I think. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I thought the good rule of thumb is you select the rear gearing based on tires so you can cross the quarter at your peak horsepower. True. Theoretically, you want to be, let's say, your red line and you're still making some power is 7,000 RPMs. Well, you want to be as close to that as possible in the 1-to-1 gear at the end of the quarter mile. So you're going to have to do the math. Y'all see that Megazilla crate motor? Yeah, it's embarrassing. 615 horsepower, 7.3 liters. Guys, LS guys on the chat, how much horsepower can you get out of an LS7? How much horsepower can you get out of a stock bottom end LS7? Let's say pump gas. Let's say badass heads, badass cam, good intake, Holly high ram or whatever. I've seen LS7s make 600 wheel horsepower, naturally aspirated 7 liters. So you're telling me, Ford, that I should be excited for 7.3 liters that makes 615? And I've seen stock bottom end NA LS7s make 600 plus on pump gas to the rear wheel. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. It is 2022 and Ford is trying to push a product on you that LSs, unfortunately, were better at 10 years ago. Looking into going Lund-tuned, but hesitant because I'm going to want 50-shot single nozzle NX kit without a fuel system on E. I'm in Colorado, having issues where it feels like power falls off past 5K. Who told you, Brian Peraza, who, by the way, is a peasant but paid $10, who told you that we don't tune that combo? Did you at least have injectors? Because if you have a Gen 3, I think you're okay. But you're on a 150-shot single nozzle Proton NX kit without a fuel system, and you're on ethanol. Okay, do you have a Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3? Right, 600 to 650 raw horsepower is what you can get out of an LS7 cam heads, Holly high ram or something similar, and a cold air, good tuning headers. And I'm supposed to be excited by a 7.3 Megazilla? Get the fuck out of my face, Ford. You've had all this time to make a big inch pushrod motor, and that's what you offer us? If I was an LS, okay. Forget brand loyalty. Let's say I'm in the market for a NA modern pushrod motor to make 600 plus horsepower. Am I going to choose an LS7 or a Megazilla? LS7 is lighter too, isn't it? Absolutely. It's just a van motor. Only thing Ford has kept them afloat is the Coyote. Everything else sucks. Unfortunately, you're wrong about that. What's kept them afloat is the EcoBoost junk. Because it's cheap. 2.7, 3.5, the 2.5 or whatever the fuck they call it. I think RPM made 700, but they went full hard NA. Who in their right mind would swap a school bus engine into their car? Brian Peraza became a bitcho level. That's how you do it, Brian. Gen 1, no injectors, no BAP. We will not tune that. This is why. Safety. You just said yourself, power starts to drop off after a certain RPM. So that's telling you something's off, right? Uh-oh, something's wrong. So you're on ethanol, stock fuel pump, wet kit, and you're playing with fire. Get some LU-47s and a booster pump. Again, get some LU-47s and a booster pump, and we'll gladly tune you on ethanol. Why? Headroom. Headroom. Some tuners will say, you don't need that. Oh, you also don't need your fucking rods. You also don't need your pistons. Theoretically. But we want you to race for a long time. Coyote Power Stroke are the only reason to buy a Ford. TJ, it worked for the Noble M600 Volvo bus motor, twin turbo. Ford is just giving those engines away. Even local shops got Godzilla swap game. Right. Have you noticed that everyone's just getting these Godzilla motors? Who has actually paid for a Godzilla motor? Can anybody raise their hand if they know anyone that has paid for a Godzilla motor? Ford pushing the Zilla got to pay for all those quality improvements. Ford has been unable to build the volume Super Duty trucks they planned for the last few years. Hence, they have tons of 7.3s to get rid of. Big inch push rod, that's a classic. I'm putting it on a shirt. Eggplant emoji. Big inch push rod. What's that smell? Sasso. He's trying to meet Uncle Rodney. Ron. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Great peasant chat. Very good. We talked about Cooper Brighetti's podcast. He's got some people on. I think it's going to do well, but I really wish people would start talking real, like get after it. But I understand if they don't want to upset the cash cow. I get that, but maybe I'm wrong 100%. Who cares? That's what we talk here. We talk shit. We talked about the EV racing game not really being a thing because at the end of the day, it's going to people want to go there for other reasons than just the speed. They want the power. They want to feel the engine rumble. They want to see the flames. They want to see the dumb shit. So I don't think it's going to happen. And then we talked to Pez and stuff about tire sizes. And some guy said it's easy to remove a motor from a GT500 if you have a $500,000 building and a bent pack lift. Got it. 150 shot on NA timing. If you have really high octane fuel, you might be okay. Only schoolboat motor I want is a whatever. Maybe a mouth breather. Got it. And Gems Ain't J with the pepper. Can't wait for NA Bolt on Gen 3 to gap Dark Horses. Later, everyone have a good one. And DIY and Shane says, have a good one. All right, guys, have a good rest of your Sunday. Enjoy football, whatever the fuck you watch. I'll be back on Tuesday talking shit. We'll see what happens between now and then, and we'll get after it then. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys Tuesday. I might throw up a video later today or Monday. We'll see. Nothing crazy. I have been working nonstop in the garage on the GT500, and I'm not going to give you any information on that until I have a 100% locked in game plan as to what's going to happen with that. Carburetor might be in next week for the notch. Truck content, White GT, ZR1, we got stuff coming. Relax. It's Christmas time, so it's a little difficult to just go out there and do videos, so I'll get everything up as soon as I can. All right, guys, have a good rest of your week or your day or whatever, and I'll see you guys Tuesday at 8 o'clock talking shit.